Hey guys, Crystal here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a masculine dude type of card for graduation. Of course, it's right around the corner and we are getting up and early on this and getting started. I have a really cool background made with some acrylic paints, some gorgeous Simon releases, party balloons, and class act. The whole thing comes together super easy, very simple, and very easy to mass produce. So as I mentioned, we are using the party balloons. It's a beautiful 8x6 cling stamp, foam stamp, along with a class act cling stamp and two pieces of craft cardstock. So to start, I got my kids' little cheapy acrylic paint and I'm just going to brush some of this acrylic, and this is just a gorgeous blue. And really the idea here is that we want those paint strokes so it looks like paint, and you could use watercolor. I just feel it would have to be super thick. And then we're going to set that aside to dry. For the second part, which is where our sentiment is going to go on, we're going to start blending from the outer edge to the inside, so the brush marks are to the inside of it as opposed to the harsh lines outside. Make sure that it's completely dry before moving on to the step, which is embossing. I'm going to bring in a little bit of cornstarch and I'm going to cover the whole thing with the cornstarch. It's going to allow the cling stamps, or the stamp at all, to not stick, and then the embossing powder is not going to stick either. So I have it ready on my MISTI. I'm going to bring in my acrylic cardstock to go for the background, and I'm going to bring in the Simon Says Stamp watermark embossing ink. This is my favorite ink for embossing. It really holds on to that embossing powder. I'm going to kind of tap down, make sure that I got the whole thing. I'm going to bring this out and bring in the Simon Says Stamp white detail embossing powder. And you see mine's clumpy. It's never clumpy. My kids ended up putting water in this and I just haven't had time to order some more. But as you can see, it's still usable. I just got to be sure that I don't get any on my clumps. And then I'm going to use a little brush and my fingers to clean it off. I heat set it and it's ready to go. Next, I have a mini MISTI and I have that class act sentiment of the Congrats Grad. I'm going to use my magnet to hold it down. And again, we're going to repeat the process of stamping with the Simon Says Stamp watermark embossing ink and covering it up with the Simon Says Stamp white detail embossing powder. That is not clumpy when you purchase it unless your kids put water in it. So I'm going to press that down, make sure that I get it nice and solid stamp, and then I'm going to again come back with the white embossing powder, heat set the whole thing. And I'm going to end up trimming it just a little bit so it's a bit more of a strip and not so large, such a large rectangle. So while that's cooling off, I have some Gansai Tambi Starry Colors. It's a beautiful palette of gold and white gold. And I add a little bit of water and I'm just flicking this over the whole embossing acrylic paint thing. It's just gonna really, one, hide all my mistakes, and two, give it some dimension and a little bit of glitter. Of course, this is a guy card, so I don't want to overdo it. Then with some foam adhesive, I added that Congrats Grad. And then last but not least, I have one of the little hats from the Class Act stamp that I have heat embossed in white onto some of the same khaki cardstock and then fussy cut with it. Then I have some matte black sequins, and these come in two sizes. We got a larger and then a smaller, and I'm going to do two on the top, two on the bottom. And then I'm going to bring in some Nouveau drops in white and in black to really fill in those spaces and finish up the card. And guys, that does it for me today. Thanks so much for joining me. All products I've used are listed down below. Go check out the brand new release for this month, and we have these brand new party balloons class act. And if you're new here, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click on to the next video for some more inspiration. We'll see you later.